Last year, I made some pretty bold predictions about the Saints. Let's just say this year I'm guardedly optimistic. Time for Saints football.
It's time to talk Saints football with the one and only Stephen Wiley.
Hi, I'm Steve Wiley. Welcome to the post-draft edition of 70 Seconds of Saints. They had an awful lot of needs going into this offseason, and they addressed many of them in free agency. But there were still some gaps to be filled when the draft rolled around. Some of the so-called experts have kind of dissed the Saints' picks, but I think they did a great job. Nothing flashy, nothing glamorous, but good players that I think will help the team win. Now, the past couple of years, Drew Brees has received an awful lot of criticism for turning the ball over. Well, here's my take on it, and apparently Sean Payton feels that way too. Those turnovers are the result of pressure, the guy not being protected. When you see a guy with his level of talent turning the ball over the way he has the past couple of years, the problem is that he's not being protected. Drew got sacked 37 times in 2013 and 29 times in 2014. He's 36 years old. That can't continue. So they made the trade to get Max Unger from Seattle, and their first pick in the 2015 draft was offensive tackle Andrus Peat out of Stanford University. Peat is 6'7", 313 pounds, and he was a finalist for the Outland Trophy. Now, he's not going to start at left tackle. Teron Armstead has that, but he's going to start somewhere, I promise you. Now, the Saints had arguably, well, not arguably, they had the worst defense in NFL history in 2012. They rebounded in 2013, and then this past year they were, I believe, the second worst defense in the league. When Rob Ryan was hired, the plan was to go with a 3-4 alignment. Well, injuries and age and a subsequent lack of depth at the linebacking positions forced them out of that a lot. So the second pick, Stephon Anthony out of Clemson. By the way, he was a finalist for the Butkus Award, which is presented, of course, to the best linebacker in college football. Now, if the critics have a problem with that pick, well, that is absolutely their problem. Sean Payton made it very clear that the Saints need to get better at rushing the passer. Now, this gets me excited. Hau'oli Kikaha. Say that 5 times fast. Hau'oli Kikaha out of the University of Washington. Defensive end / outside linebacker. First team All-American, and he led the nation in sacks with 19. I watched some video of this guy. He is absolutely frightening. When I find out what number the guy's wearing, I think I'm going to buy the jersey. All right, a lot of talk about quarterbacks because of Drew's age. Well, there was a lot of speculation that they would draft Bryce Petty out of Baylor. Well, he was still on the board when the Saints made the first of their 2 third-round selections. They chose Garrett Grayson out of Colorado State. So he was obviously the guy that Sean Payton wanted. I've seen some video of him as well. His skill set is very similar to that of Drew Brees, but he's a little bit bigger. Doesn't have an arm that can throw it through the side of a building, but he has incredible touch, especially for a college player. And that's crucially important in Sean Payton's offense. And don't be ushering Drew out the door just yet. His contract runs through 2016, and I'm not convinced that's going to be his final year. So they got time to kind of groom this kid. Now, they had a total of 9 picks. They used 6 of them for defensive players. I was a little surprised they didn't draft a wide receiver or a tight end. But by the end of Saturday, they had signed 10 undrafted free agents. So we'll see what happens. Last year, I made some awfully bold predictions about the Saints, and they blew up in my face. The only consolation in that is that I wasn't the only one. This year, I'm guardedly optimistic that they're going to be a far better team. And once again, time will tell. I'm Steve Wiley. Thank you for joining us for 70 Seconds of Saints. For more great content, just click right up here to subscribe. Click right there.